Hey guys, what's up? Finished my snap carbine and I thought I'd make a video about it. So before I get into it, I just want to show you what a real Thompson looks like, or Tommy gun, because that's kind of what I started it, like modeled it after. So yeah, here's what a Thompson looks like. And this is an airsoft gun, so no one freak out. Actually, I wouldn't really care if you thought this was a real gun anyways. There's nothing wrong with owning guns in my opinion. But that's a big discussion that I don't want to get into. So anyways, this is a real Thompson. It's quite big and quite heavy because it's made of metal completely. It's solid metal, and it's got the mag, foregrip, stock, bolt, and yeah, selector switches, blah blah blah. And then here is my Tommy gun style snap carbine. So it's not, identical, but I think it looks kind of similar. I'm gonna put this down. So now that you know what a Tommy gun looks like, hopefully you can judge this a little bit better. So where should I start? We'll start from the back, I guess. The stock is oak. I just cut it out on my scroll saw and rounded it all completely with a file and stuff. Oh, sorry, excuse my phone ringing. Yeah, rounded with a file, and then all the wood has a stain from Minwax on it called gun stock. So I think that was pretty suiting for what I'm trying to do here. And yeah, just nice and round. Got some varnish on it, or sorry, no, shellac, whatever that is. Rainbow pump handle, which has been rounded in the same way, just with a file. Same stain, same shellac. And then got a end cap on the back, and this is a 1-inch end cap, and that is retaining the spring, and that's just screwed in there with 4 3/8 652 screws. And then you have the channel cut here, and that's so the bolt, which is this thing, can enter the blaster. It's not like a plunger rod, since it has this thing coming out. It's much different than a plunger rod. The spring that I have in here is a K18 spring. Yes, it's a K18 spring, and that is a spring from McMaster, if you weren't aware. The bolt is 5/8 inch oak dowel, I think. I forgot what kind of wood it is, but yeah, it's a 5/8 dowel. I was going to use CPVC, but I found this dowel in my shop, and I thought it would look nice having everything all wood, so I used it. Plastic clothespin with a polycarbonate trigger, and it's kind of like in the handle a little bit, and I think that looks very nice. The way this design is, the trigger is open all the time. It's not like a traditional snap. It doesn't come down and then lock. It just stays up and then will lock into the groove. The traditional way of doing this was to drill a hole in the bolt that's inside the blaster. Probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah, there's a hole inside the bolt, and then the nail would go inside the hole. But I kind of thought that was a little bit weak, and I liked GML Industries' idea of using the two washer face, like that, with the bolts in the middle, or the nuts, sorry, in the middle to curate the space, just like a normal snap. So that's what I did. I got the idea of doing a Tommy gun style snap from GML Industries, by the way. I did not use his write-up whatsoever. I did it my own way because I'm just kind of stubborn like that. But I'm gonna give credit to him just for the concept of having a Tommy gun style snap carbine. So on the bolt, there's a washer that is epoxied on the back of the bolt, and that just protects this dowel from the spring. And yeah, the spring rides against the washer, and then the dowel is secured by a very long screw. The screw probably goes from the bottom where it is to about here in the dowel, and it's just a big giant wood screw, and that just helps it stay in place. It's screwed in from the other side of the bolt, and then that's countersunk so it doesn't interfere with the plunger tube, and then it goes really far into the dowel, because I had a short one in there, but then the dowel would wiggle, so I just put the longest one I could find inside of it. And then the catch face is the two washers, like I said, but I didn't use Oh my god, I didn't use the hole or the bolt method. It's the two washers with a nylon spacer. But unfortunately in Canada, hardware stores don't really sell nylon spacers at all. They sell like nylon bolts and stuff, but not spacers. So I'm kind of screwed with that. So I just chopped a piece of a nylon rod and I drilled a hole in it, and that acted as my spacer. But that's very annoying to do. So I've been trying to get a hold of nylon spacers for snaps and like rainbow pistol pulls for a really long time, but the only way I can really do it is to custom order it from Bafasco, which is going to cost me like literally hundreds of dollars, and I'm not willing to pay that because they need me to buy like a couple hundred of each, which I understand, but I just don't want to do. And the other way is like asking people in the NIC that live in the States to do it for me. And I've asked a couple people and they seem like they don't want to do it, so I'm not going to bother them about it. But if anyone's watching this and they do feel like doing that, going to the hardware store and getting me the spacers that I need, that'd be great. Send me a message and I'll send you the money for PayPal. Whatever you need is fine. I understand you're going to need money for your time. But yeah, anyways, back to the blaster. Um, I think I mentioned that I had a polycarbonate trigger. And this is just 3/8 polycarbonate that I've cut in the shape of a trigger. And I just freehanded this, just like my other one. But I think it turned out nicely. Um, Bushing, regular bushing. And this is the barrel. Oops. This is the barrel I've been using it with, just for testing. And it seems to be working fine. I'll take it off just for now. And originally I had this K18 in here, plus I had a stock Aerostorm spring, and that was giving me a lot of power. Like, it was very powerful, it was shooting very hard. I don't know how far it was shooting, but it was shooting quite far. It was shooting, because where I live, there's no houses in front of me, so I can shoot like from the beginning of my driveway or in my garage across the street, and it was going all the way down my driveway, across the street, across the little bike path, and then like hitting the hill. And one day when I do a range test outside, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But it was shooting pretty far with the Aerostorm spring and the K18, but I thought it was too much force for this bolt. I thought that this bolt wouldn't be able to take it just because of the way it's fastened, and it's not my fault. It's just kind of how the design is. You can't really have as strong of a spring as you would have if, there's a plunger rod that you would pull back or is getting pulled back by like a pump action grip. But this blaster, I didn't make it because I wanted to shoot really far. I just made it for fun, and I think it was cool, and yeah, I just wanted to make it for fun. It's not going to be like my primary or anything. It's just a cool blaster. But just with this K18, it's shooting well enough for me. It's probably 90 to 100 feet, which is good. So it primes like this, and the spring is fully compressed. It's a fully compressed K18, which I think looks really cool because the spring's really fat and like you can see it and stuff, and it's at absolute full compression. Cannot be compressed any further. And we'll go over the seal. I'll put the barrel on because I noticed that I can't really hold it with my hand very well. It leaks a little bit, so here we go. So it goes forward a little bit, and then it stops right about there. Oh, it's going forward a bit. But yeah, I wouldn't call that perfect by any means, because I don't think there's any real such thing as perfect, because even people that say they have a perfect seal on their blaster, if you put an end cap on there and left it for a couple hours, it would leak out. So that's actually not perfect. It's extremely good, and I'm not, trying to take away from that at all, but no seal is perfect in my opinion. But you can get very close, and I think this is very close. Ooh. So, yeah, one more time. Seal's good. The only thing with this, though, is I think I'm going to glue this in as well as the screw because it kind of does loosen a little bit from you pulling on it all the time. So I think I'm going to unscrew the thing here and just put some epoxy on the screw and in the hole and kind of just in the bolt and just put it in there and have some epoxy all in there, and then if any oozes out, I'll just cut it off or sand it off or something. But I do like this blaster. It's quite comfortable. Since I angled the stock, so like the tube is straight, right? But then the stock is angled. it kind of raises the blaster a bit. So you put your face down and your eye is level with the top of the blaster. And I made sure that this screw was perfectly centered on top. So the screw is kind of like a sight, and it actually works pretty well. I was shooting some pop cans in my backyard, and I didn't hit it every time by any means, but you know, when I used the screw and lined it up, I did hit it maybe 8 out of 10 times, which is pretty good for a Nerf blaster, I think. I don't know how far I was, again, but it was good. So, very comfortable. Put it at your shoulder like this, prime it back, and it stays. And then when you fire, and the bolt isn't anywhere near your face or your arms, so you're safe. I'm just going to shoot it on my couch. And the darts I'm using are really old. This is really old foam. I do like this foam though. It's the foam that Short Stuff or whatever, Short Stock, sold it. Forsaken Angel 24 used to sell it. And Modman used to sell it. Not Modman 712, the original Modman from Nerf Haven. He's retired, I think. But yeah, this is nice foam. It's just Sierra rod, but it's the pink or red Sierra rod, which I really, really like. I love this foam. If anyone has this foam, because it's not in production anymore, if anyone has this and they would like to sell it to me, please let me know. I'll buy whatever you have. So yeah, just give me an email, leave me a comment, shoot me a PM, whatever. I'll buy all the foam off you. So I'm just going to shoot that green pillow. Hopefully that pop got caught on camera. I'm probably going to make a breach for this or something. It doesn't do very well with a hopper at all just because of the low plunger volume. I think 2 shots is good. Oh, I think this has more draw than the original too, the way I did it. I think it has 5 3/8 inches of draw. It's either 5 1/4 or 5 3/8. Yeah, I think it's 5 3/8. I'm not sure though. It could be 1 1/4. I don't remember. But it's, you know, more draw than the original. I think the original had like 4 inches or 4 1/2. But yeah, whatever. I'll probably make another one of these just because it's a nice shorter draw blaster, especially for younger people that don't have the arm span to draw, you know, a big pump snap or something. And yeah, I think that's it, guys. Give me a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want. Like always, have a good day or whatever. And I'll see you on the forums. Talk to you later. Bye.